Hey guys, how's it going? So we got something really cool on the bench today. This is a vintage, made in Japan Fender Jag-Stang. Pretty cool. Why is it on the bench though? It's got some problems. So the vibrato system, which is the same as a Fender Mustang, will not stay in tune no matter what I do. So it's doing that thing where if you use the trem and then tune it, when you bend a string, it goes out of tune. If you use the trem again, it goes back in tune. Or vice versa. Stretch all the strings, tune it. Use the vibrato, it goes out of tune. Pull on the string, it goes back in tune. And that was getting maddening. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the strings off. We're going to adjust the tension of the spring inside the vibrato system. We're going to shim the neck so that the bridge height is appropriate. And we're going to lube the nut. While we're in there, we're going to change the humbucker. The Seymour Duncan Invader is not good in this guitar. It didn't come with this guitar. The original humbucker that came with this guitar is MIA. I have no idea what happened to it. By the time this got to me, it had an Invader in it. Don't like it, too muddy, not clear enough. So we're going to replace that humbucker. So let's get the strings off and get started. Okay, we're going to start with shimming the neck. It's ridiculously easy. And why? Why are we going to shim the neck? Well, if you take a look here at the way that this bridge system works, we've got our bridge right here, which somebody wrapped in tape. Not sure why they did that. Previous owner. But basically what we want to do is we want to be able to raise the bridge. Why? Well, the way that the Mustang vibrato system works is the strings pass across the bridge here and they go into this tailpiece. And when you use the tailpiece, the bridge is supposed to move back and forth with the string and then return to a 0 point somewhere in the middle. The problem is, to get the strings as low as a lot of people like them, like me included in that, look how low the bridge is. It's almost touching the base plate, so there's not very much room for it to move back and forth, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to shim the neck, and what that does is it raises the fingerboard up a little bit, which allows us to raise the bridge down here and have the same relative action as we would have had, thus giving it more of a range of motion. Another thing that I'm going to do, and this may solve all of our problems right away, this tape that they've put around the posts. I'm guessing that the previous owner, because the way that the arm works, there's a little screw that goes in right here, it was missing. I think the previous owner used this guitar as a hardtail, so they covered this in tape to keep the bridge locked in place so that it wouldn't move. So I'm actually going to remove the tape so that it has that freedom of motion like it's supposed to have so that we can use the vibrato. So a couple of steps. I'm going to take the tape off and then we're going to shim the neck. Alright, I got 3 of the screws out. Let's get the last one out. I'm very curious to see what secrets might be hiding in this neck pocket. What's cool is this is an older, vintage, made in Japan Jag-Stang. So it's possible that this has never been removed. Alright, I'm going to flip the guitar around and then I'll start the camera. Okay, and the neck just fell out. Interesting. So if we look at the back here, we see Jag 70. In the neck pocket, it also says Jag 70 FRD. And believe it or not, the serial number in the neck pocket matches the serial number on the back of the neck. So this is the original neck. Jag 70. Very interesting. I don't know what that means, but yeah. So anyway, to install the shim, what do we do? Well, I'm going to use a 1/2 degree shim, as displayed here. And you want to put the fat side toward the bridge, skinny side toward the headstock. Literally just like that, okay? And then you're going to put the neck back on the guitar the way it goes, that. Okay, and then you're going to grab one of your screws and you're going to grab your neck plate and try and do all this one-handed. Just kidding. I'm going to flip the guitar around again. Got the guitar flipped around. I'm going to grab the neck plate. Just try and get one screw lined up. If I can get one screw lined up and in, then we're good. And we can kind of angle it around until it's all where it goes. So that's through the hole in the neck. Not going to tighten it too much, just tight enough to where it stays. And we're going to try and find the other hole on the other corner, which I think I've got right here. I do. Great, just not super tight. just snug enough that the screw stops turning. We'll tighten it up in a minute. Is that one? One more. There we go. All right, now once all 4 screws are in there, you can tighten it a little bit more than you normally would. The reason is you've got a shim in there now. So you want that shim to be nice and tight in the neck pocket, but you also don't want to risk cracking your finish by tightening this too much. So just about like that should do it. Now, if we flip the guitar back around, you will see got a shimmed neck right there. And the fingerboard is quite a bit higher than it was. Mission accomplished. That's the first part. Second part is we're actually going to take this whole bridge assembly out because we need to take a look at the springs. So the first thing that you do to remove this is the obvious thing. You remove these 5 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to take those out now. I got all the springs out. So let's see if it's stuck in here from age. It's not. Comes right out. No surprises, just some ugh inside there. Alright, let's look at the bottom of the plate. So this is unfortunate. So usually, as you can see, there's these 3 notches here, right? 1, 2, 3. So the way this works is, when you use the vibrato system and you pull this, it's pulling on the spring, okay? Now usually when you get these from the factory, the springs are attached to either the middle or the lowest one, closest to the base plate. Well, the closer to the base plate you are, the less tension there is. And the less tension there is, the more effect the string tension is going to have. So you want to have this, it's kind of like a Strat with 5 springs usually stays in tune better. It's the same principle. You want these to be attached to the furthest notch away from the plate. Unfortunately, it's already at that spot, so that is not what our problem is with the tuning stability. So we kind of took this off for no reason. But you know what? At least we got to look at it and check it, right? So that leaves us with 2 things we need to do. We already did the neck shim, so that's good. We took the tape off of the bridge, so that should help. And so the last thing to do is to lube the nut and string the guitar up. Now, one other thing I'm going to do is I was using 10s, which I should not have done. I'm going to use 11s. I have 11s on my Jaguar, and I love it. It feels great, and it sounds good too. So I'm going to put 11s on this guitar. Hopefully between the 11s, the neck shim, which would mean we need to raise the height of the bridge, which we'll do in a second, and the lubed nut, we should have the combination we need to get everything going. Before I put the guitar back together though, I am going to swap out this humbucker. You're not going to see me do that because that's not part of this video, but when I come back it's going to be it's a quad rails humbucker. We got the new humbucker in there. We'll see how that does. But now we need to lube the nut. We've used this stuff on this channel before, so I'm going to put some of this. And then we are going to have to raise this quite a bit because we did shim the neck. So I'm actually going to just do that right now. So you take your little Allen wrench here, stick it in there, and then you rotate it clockwise to raise the bridge. So I'm just going to raise it, you know, a little bit on each side. I'm going to lube the nut, put some strings on it, and see what happens. Alright, so I got it strung up. A couple things we need to do. First, set your bridge height. Okay, so I'm going to do that. And then after you get your bridge height set, you want to make sure that there's clearance, and it's hard to show here, but you want to make sure that the string is not touching the bridge here, where it comes out into this little cigar piece, right? So to get that, what you do first, you set your bridge, and if the string is touching, then you just raise this piece until it's not touching anymore, okay? And to do that, there's these 2 holes. There's one hole here and one hole here. So I'm going to do both of those things, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I got everything adjusted. Moment of truth. Let's see if it stays in tune. So it's in tune, bending and playing, that kind of stuff, but what about after using the trim? Absolutely perfect. That's amazing. I gotta say, I'm incredibly impressed. So there you go. That's how you set up a Mustang Vibrato to keep it in tune. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Please join the Discord if you haven't already. We talk about guitars like this one that I found. A review on this guitar will be coming out soon, and stay tuned. So yeah, thanks again. See you next time. Keep on rocking.